A very good morning to you, crafty lot. So we are going to be making beaded beads today. I'm going to start straight down on a mat and I will turn you around later so you can see me. I love these beads. I guess we made quite a few different variations of them. These ones, the one with crystal bicones. So the bicones we're using today are premium quality, so which means they each of the bicones are the same size. They got a nice faceting. As so many different beads comes in different qualities as well. Sometimes when you make something and you put the time into to make it, it just really pays off to use better materials. So these ones are used by the premium bicones. Now we have got some kits and bundles for you on the website. Morning Marcia, Brenda, Joe, Leanne, Paula, Maxine. Leanne's saying so excited. Good morning Edward. Ali Aria. Oh, sorry, I always forget. I hope you said your name right. Good morning Leanne, Annie, Di. I'm so bad with names that I either can't remember them or I pronounce them the wrong way. Morning Karen, Joe, Di, Annie, Alicia, Camille. Camille is saying, good morning Kitty. Not a very nice morning today. Well, it's been raining here, the sun been out, and it's been raining again, then the sun been out. So I think we're going to be in for a bit of a mixed day today. But it's a perfect day to stay indoors or just perhaps sit by the window and do some beading. I think it will be really, sometimes it's just nice to, you can blame it on the weather that you couldn't get out and do anything in the garden. You were indoors all day and doing your beading. So on our website, I always show you this one, but if any of your new ones, if you go on totallybeads.co.uk, we have got either on the left hand side or at the top, if you press some categories, we got one called Facebook tutorials. When this comes up, we have that's today's ones, but going backwards, we did so many videos over the last 13-14 weeks now that we got covered so many different techniques. We use different materials. You can go into any one of them. I just go into these graduated fans. There's relevant products there, and then if you click on this big blue button here, it will bring up the video for that particular project. So you can go back and view any of the ones previous you missed perhaps. And you can please share your videos. If you share your video, it will stay on your newsfeed, I guess, on your own Facebook page, and you will have it forever. And also it's really nice to get new people into crafting, so I always sort of encourage everybody to share, because we do give away free PDFs. Like today, the PDF is free for this Bicone beaded bead, but this is gonna go up to $1.99 tomorrow. So if you share the video, perhaps your friends or family or crafty friends can get advantage of downloading the project and making yourself. It's only using a few materials, and it's really great to just to create a few beads here and there and then put it together later on. Right, so we got a couple of offers. We got these lovely beads, which I'm going to show you in a minute. They're lovely bead mixes. You get 20 mixed beads and it should be £10. It's half price today, so it's £5 today. And they're really great fillers. I'll show you just in a minute to put between your beads. We also got this bundle. This is using 3mm Bicone beads. So this is a smaller one and a bit more delicate looking one. With this one, you get all the 13 different colors of crystals, but you also get the beads to make the chain as well. So it makes about 80 beads. And it's a really great one to start with. It's a little bit more delicate because here you're working with 15s and 11s, but I think many of you can like cope with it, and it's a really nice make. And then we got another bundle. So this one should be $49.99. It's $29.99 today. I know we only got a limited stock of this, so if you do want it, do go ahead and add it to your baskets because it will be gone. Erudite Crystal Bicone bundle. This makes 72 beads. Now here you don't get the chain, you just get 3 different sizes of Bicone beads in 6 different colors, plus your seed beads in size 11 and size 8 to make all the lovely beads up. And then we got some colors singly. Some of them we haven't got many, so again we might only have a few. And what I asked Simon to put this chain in, this stainless steel chain. I love these ones because, but I'll show you them in real life actually, probably it's better. I love these stainless steel chains because they make, if you just, you know, make 1 or 2 beads, you make 1 or 2 beads and then you can pretty much straight away put it on there and start wearing them. Now Sarah did this versions of beaded beads last week. This one was with the check crescent beads, so do check this out as well because your beads can fit together. So I quite easily could take a bead. Have I got one loose here? Let's just have a look, but if not then we will take some off. It's not a problem. So where is my end? So I'm just going to take a couple of beads off to show you. This was another colorway we did. And then quite nicely you can string them together to form a really nice necklace with all the different sort of beads you make. All of those beads are got larger holes, so they fit on either on a chunkier necklace or they will fit on some of your herringbone chains if you did them in size 11. So they're really great for that as well. And here are, these are lovely crystals. These crystals has got quite large holes as well. So again, they can fit between your beads nicely. And but where is the end of the chain? I just pop it in here so you can see. Sometimes you might have to remove, no, this one was quite big. Sometimes you might have to remove the jump ring at the end of your chain to be able to add your beads, but most of the time it will just go through and it will, come through. So again, the crystal gives just a really nice effect. And if you just make a few beads, you can fill your chain up with crystals. And as you're making more beads up, you can then, you know, remove some of the crystals and have more of your beaded beads. So let me just check out your comments quickly before we start making. Just take this back off and put this out of the way. So we're going to be making this one. So we're going to start with like a little bit of right angle weave in the middle, and then we're going to fill the sides on either side step by step. I like to do a couple of steps on one side and a couple of steps on the other side, just to give a more I guess even look. That's the word I'm looking for. So how's everybody been today? Yesterday, have you been making what we were making yesterday? The day before we were making this lovely bracelet, which I have finished, and this is going to be mine, so it's going into my jewelry box. And yesterday, oh yes, yesterday we were doing these lovely Caroline bracelets. They're great as well. So for the Caroline bracelet is still on our website. If you haven't seen it, check out yesterday's video. And what we did with the Caroline, we sometimes give you straight offers, but with this one we got a discount code on the website. So if you put the word Caroline in the checkout, you will get 15% off of these kits as well. So if you haven't seen it yesterday, do check it out because they're really great elastic bracelets. Right, so which color shall we make? So this is the one which is using the size 11s and size 15s. The technique is exactly the same as for the big one, but here you're just working with smaller beads. I'm gonna demo you with the bigger one so you can see better what you're making. But this is, I just love this sort of rainbow beads on there. They just look really, really great. I think I'm gonna go for this color, this really lovely purpley color, which is I love these seed beads as well. So let's just get the rest of them out of the way. Oh, the crystals. Before, I just want to show you the 3 different colorways. So that one is the monochrome, but you get your silvers and what's clear AB. That one is called, I think, silver dust. And then you got like a silver plating as well. Then you have a color mix which is called Sky, where you get your purples and blues. They're gorgeous as well. And another color mix where you get Earth, which is your browns and sort of slightly greens as well. All 3 of them are really nice, and they will fill between your beads. Probably the purple ones will go really lovely with this color. So I might make a few up, and then I can string them up in a nice little selection. But do check out these crystal beads because they are half price today. So they're £5 for 20 beads, and usually they are £10. Right, so we're gonna do that lovely color, that dragonfly color. So I'm gonna do it with the largest seed bead so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Let's just pop this down and get a new needle from my stash. So I'm very quickly gonna, although this is saying pretty, sorry if I miss any of your comments, I will come back later on and have a look at all the comments and answer any of the questions if you have. But before we start, I will just quickly look back and have a look. I'm gonna leave my bobbin on there. It will act as a stopper. But also it will be, if I need more thread, I can come back and take more thread from here. So get our crystal beads out and some of our seed beads. Actually, I'm going to pop them down here so I can have my hand nice in the middle, showing you the stitch after I picked up the beads. Jenny's saying purple is too dark on the screen, Kitty. Okay. Are we all thinking it's too dark once we start making? Or shall I change? Oh, Nat is saying you're right, it's too dark. Okay, so never mind, just give me 1 minute, and what I do, I just pop these beads back into my box and we get another color out. Not a problem at all. Give me 2 ticks and we get another color out. Right, so the colors, let's do one of them from the bundle. So the colors we have, we got red, we got green, we got this really nice aqua, we got this very lovely moss greeny color, and obviously the purple one, but you said the purple is too dark. And there is one more color. That's red is there, moss green, that one. Oh yeah, this lovely beige color. So let me know which color you can see the best and we will demo with that one. The red is not the best because sometimes the red can be a little bit hazy, I guess, when you're working with it. So perhaps another color. Which color would you like me to demo it? Quite a lot of you saying aqua. Good morning, Paula. Light blue, yes, that's the aqua one. So shall we go for this one? You can see this nice and clear, can't you? So let me just find my beads. There they are. So I'm going to take the largest one out. Oh man, I'm going to have to thread another needle now. Never mind. I think Sarah and me both, it's like we thread needles on a daily basis. You thread hundreds and hundreds of needles, but when you have to do it on live air, or when you have to do it live on the Facebook Live, it's like always, oh, look at that, just went in straight away. So that's great. Right, so we're going to do the aqua. Let me just pop these to the side so we got less thing for the camera to focus on. and get our beads out. Now, the same pattern works for different beads. So let's get down to 3 sizes here out as well. So these ones are 4mm bicones, these ones are 5mm bicones, and these ones are 6mm bicones. And they have exactly the same pattern with exactly the same beads, but as you can see, once you're moving up in size, the crystals sort of bulge out a little bit more. And Nat is saying, sorry, Kitty. Why are you saying sorry? Do let me know. Don't be sorry. If it's because, like, you asked me to change the color, I am happy to. And that's why this is really good. The power of the internet, that we can interact with each other and you can tell me exactly what you see or what's there, and we can very quickly change it, and I can show you whichever technique or whichever color you like. But Jane's saying, yes, but we need to see. Oh, and he's saying, by the time I threaded the needle, I have forgotten what I was going to do. Sometimes you and me both. For making a new thread, new needle. Yes, sometimes I do find after when you be beading with the same needle over and over again, the eye slightly shuts on it, and then it's just, you just have to put it to the side and use a new needle. Mina's saying I had to thread my needle about 15 times yesterday while doing my little bracelet. Well done. Yes, so I can see that you're answering you having a little chat amongst each other as well, which is so great, because I think quite a few of you have found some friends amongst here on Facebook. And I was talking to Chef the other day, and she said she's been talking to a lady from Canada. So do let me know where you are. Oh, Leanne is saying, post this video to your wall and hit the like. Yes, so I do appreciate any shares, any posts, because the more people we can inspire, the more, I suppose, we can share the love of crafting, because that's what we're all here for. We all love making, you know, it doesn't just have to be jewelry. It could be crocheting, it could be any craft what we're doing, but we all love making things. And with the free PDFs as well, I think it's great to be able to, you know, if you get something and instructions for free, then you don't mind to have a go at it, even with the materials you have at home. And then you know, it's just, and they're really easy to make as well. Right, so we're going to start by picking up 4 bicone beads, and I'm going to take them all the way down to my thread. Now, I'm going to go through all of these bicone beads one more time to form a nice little circle. And pull that up. I'm gonna go through the first bicone one more time, just to sort of work away from my tail, and then have like a nice and tighter tension on my work. Jenny's saying, sorry Kitty, have to go, we'll watch later. So yes, so if you do share the video, it will stay on your timeline, and then you can find it very easily, or you can find it via our website. If you go into Facebook, you can find it in the Totally Beads Facebook page on the video sections as well. They stay there. Right, so I'm going to pick up another 3 bicone, and this is my tail end. This is my working thread end. I want to form another circle at the top here, so I'm going to come from my tail and go through the same bicone again, where I just come through. Untwist the thread and pull this up. So now we got a figure of 8 with our crystals. So before we add any more, we're going to have to move along to the top, because we want to add another circle here. So basically we're just going to be doing a little beaded band with our crystals first, which is the right middle of our bead. Elaine is saying good morning, Elaine. Betty is saying, I'm just up the road from you, Blair. I think that was answering somebody else's. Then I'm just going to pick up another 3 as I'm exiting from this top bead. I'm going to come from the other side towards where the thread is exiting. Sorry, my voice is going, and then pull this tight. So now we got 3 little circles stuck together in the middle by a bead. Just take a sip of my coffee. Now I'm going to need to move up again to be able to add further beads. Now I do like to flip-flop my work. I'm going to let my tail go now because I am got a few stitches there to hold on to. Make sure your tension is tight, so do pull your work tight. And I do like to flip-flop my work, so I always like to work away from myself. So I'm right at the top, and I'm going to pick up 3 of the crystals and go through that bead again and pull this tight. And again, I'm going to flip my work around so I can work away from myself and going to the top. Minnie is saying, this is how I've made my pearl beaded ball. Yes, you can, with this technique, it's sort of right angle weave technique, and we're gonna do sort of a little bit of stringing and filling up on there as well. You can make so many different shapes by picking up the beads. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 sets. So I'm gonna pick up my 5th set. So I'm gonna again pick up 3 of my crystals, find where I'm exiting at the end, come from the other side. Betty's saying it's not often there is someone from nearby on beading sites. I mean, my mind is just really blown that with the power of the internet, we can sort of get around the whole of the world. And the other day, we had people here from Ohio, we had people here from New Zealand, we had people from all over the world. Right, so we got 5 sets. So if you count the side on the crystals, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on both sides. And now for the 6th one, because we only want 6 on our bead, we're going to have to join our working end with our tail end. And then we're going to start filling the gaps with our seed beads. So now I don't need to pick up 3 to form another circle. I'm just going to pick up 1 crystal. Take it all the way down, and I'm gonna take this, wrap it around my finger because I don't want my beading to be twisted, and come through the bead on the bottom. And once I get to the other side, I'm gonna pick up another crystal and come through the top one. I was just coming out before this last joining step, and pull this up nice and tight. When you're working with smaller beads, if it's hard for you to hold on, you can always get a pen and insert the pen inside your beadwork, so you can, well, I guess, hold on to it better, and then it holds the shape as well. I just like to hold it between my fingers, but there's various different things that you can do to, I guess, make life easier. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go along and add our size 8 seed beads to the side. So as I'm coming out of my middle crystal, I need to go to the side. So I'm just going to go around and go to the next bead on the side. Once we've gone around with the size 8, our bead is going to tighten up somewhat. We don't need the crystals anymore, so I'm going to just pull them out of the way. And I'm on the side, so I'm going to pick up a size 8 seed bead and just go through the next crystal. So we're just going to go around on the side of our bead. Now, if you do want it to, because especially if you're working with larger crystals, before I turn to the side, I might weave my thread around in the middle band again, just following any thread path I created just to make it stronger. But you can do that later on as well if you wish. So your bead, the more you go around your crystals, the less likely your bead is going to be floppy. And just picking up another size 8, going through the next one. Obviously, if you're working with smaller crystals, you can't then really go back on your thread path because it will be, the holes on the smaller crystals are smaller. And just keep taking it around. Pick up another size 8, go through the next crystal. Hayes is saying, morning Kitty and everyone, love the videos, first time commenting. Bless you, but let us know where you are from, because I think we got people from all over the world on here, which is really amazing. That little old me, from my office at home or from work, I can sort of go around the world and inspire people. Right, so I went all the way around and I added one size 8 in each one of those gaps. Now I'm gonna, before I go any further, I'm gonna go around one more time because the holes on these crystals and especially on the size 8s are quite big. So I just want to tighten my bead up a little bit more. And I don't know, I might be overdoing things sometimes because I really like to reinforce my clasp when I'm doing like a bracelet or necklace, or when I do anything, I like to sort of go back and reinforce my beads. And I suppose this comes like my little boy, he's 9 years old now, but when he was little, the minute you picked him up, he was trying to tug your necklace and take your bracelet off and just really wanted to have a look at it. Right, so we're finished on one side, adding this size 8 beads. Now I could go on and finish this side completely, but what I like to do before I do that, I go to the other side. So I'm just going to cross over there, then turn my bead work over and add my beads on this side as well. So I'm sort of working side by side, making sure I will have a nice even tension all around the bead. And I'm going to add my size 8s in here as well. Just like that, and just keep going and adding. Oh, he's saying I'm from Lowestoft in Suffolk. So you're not that far away from us, actually. Patricia saying, morning Kitty and fellow beaders. Jane saying, I use tulip all the time, but Kitty doesn't, so I want to know what she uses. I think you're talking about needles. Are we talking about needles, tulip needles? I actually got some other ones in the other day what I never heard of to try them. It's like a twisted wire. It's got a really big eye needle, but I haven't brought them home from work yet. I just use these pony needles. They're size 10. Let's make sure that tail is out of the way. I have used all sorts of different needles, and depending on what project I use, I might use different needles as well. And because I got these ones, these are the Flex-Rite ones. I use these ones quite often as well. So these are a little bit shorter and stubbier than the one I'm using right now, but they are stronger. They don't bend as easily. These long ones, they can bend out of shape, and you end up with a lot of curved needles in your stash with these ones, but they are really great to use. They're very comfortable on the hand as well. The tulip needles are great as well. We had some Yuki needles on the website. Well, not have, we have some Yuki needles. They're great as well. There's so many different ones that you could use and try, but obviously we've been teaching bead clubs, and we've been at the warehouse when in normal times, not right now, I guess, but I've gone all the way around. So I'm just going to go around and just reinforce this. So we've been teaching bead clubs, and I do see what sort of needles the ladies are using, and I think it's personal preference, whatever fits the best in your hand and whatever is the best medium for you to work with, because they're all slightly different. Some of them are more bendy, some of them are more straight, some of them got larger eyes, some of them got smaller eyes, but all of them got advantages and disadvantages, I guess. I keep going back to these pony needles because they're just really, they're longer. And if you do a project when you have to keep going through sort of a selection of beads to taking your thread path around or further, it's nicer to have a longer needle, because at the same time you can push it through more beads and you don't have to pull your thread to that often. So see, I even put 3 on there, and I can pull it through. Right, so what we have so far, if you just joined, we're making these lovely beaded beads. We made it the band in the middle, so do check out the beginning of the video if you want to know how we did that. We did with a right angle weave, I guess, and then we filled one side with the size 8 seed beads and filled the other side with the size 8 seed beads. I like to do it side by side, so you have a really nice sort of even finish, even tension on your beads. And now we are in position to start pulling in on one side. So I'm going to go through the next size 8 seed bead. We're not going to need them either anymore, so I'm just going to move them out of the way, and we're just going to lose the 11 ones. So what we're going to do here is to pick up 3 size 11 seed beads, 1, 2, 3, and locate where you're coming out from the size 8 and go through from the other side, through that size 8, the crystal in front of it, and the next size 8, and pull this up. And we're just going to create, what's going on with this thread? We're just going to create this lovely little picots on the top. Come on, untwist. So a little cluster of 3 seed beads at the top, and later on we're going to pull these seed beads down with the inner circle. But first we have to add all these little picots for every single one of the size 8 beads. So I'm just going to untwist my thread, because I think that's why it's trying to knot up. So to untwist your thread, because sometimes when you're going around in circles, you do get your thread tightly twisted, and if it's twisted, what will happen is when you pull your thread through, like sort of little loops form on your thread, and then you get into all sorts of trouble. So I just letting my needle dangle down on the side of my table, and I'm going to take my index finger and thumb and just sort of pull the thread between my fingers. And you can't see this, but my needle is untwisting and the thread is untwisting, and I just do this a couple of times to get a nice and straight thread, so we won't have any more problems with it. Right, so I didn't take the thread out of the needle, or you can dangle it down as well. So if I got a shorter needle, I could dangle it from the top and just let the weight of the work pull the thread down and untwist my thread that way. I can see that you are having a nice little discussion about needles. Diane just said the tulips ones are the best and easiest to work with. So each one of us prefer different ones. I love these pony ones. And you can see them in most of our videos. I use the pony ones because they're nice and long. And the amount of needles I go through, I mean, tulip needles can be quite expensive as well. So the amount of needles I go through in a week, I don't think I could afford keep beading with tulip needles. Because once you, there we go, just take it. I'm just adding the last little picot here, just going through that last crystal and back into the next one. So every single one of my size 8 got a little picot of 3 beads sort of sticking. I pull them out so they're sticking out. I hope you can see them. And now what we're going to do, we're going to go in the middle and pull this in. So as I'm coming out of the size 8, I'm going to go down into the first 2 seed beads of those little picots we've done with the size 11s. 1, 2. And now I'm just going to sort of turn it. So I'm working away from myself, because when I have to come back, I haven't got that much of a, I suppose it's easier to I have more of a control when I'm working away from myself. When I'm coming back on myself, my hand can be shaky and I can't find the sort of the bead there, and I just really like to work away somehow. So finally, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add those little seed beads between to pull these little picots right into the middle. So I'm just gonna pick up 2 size 11s, and I'm gonna go through the third seed bead, which is sort of sticking out, but we will pull it in, the middle one on our next little edge, and pull this tight and pick up the next one. I do realize that at this point, because we haven't finished our bead, it does look a little bit floppy, but once we go around it and finish it at the end, we will tighten all this up. I'm just picking up 2 seed beads, going through the middle one, pulling this up tight, then turning it around. Oh, Lourdes is saying I'm in Ireland. Oh, great. See, so a lot of people watching from all over the world, which I just can't get my mind around. You know, like a couple of years ago, there used to be these Facebook posts all the time from teachers saying, oh, we did this post, and can you please share, because I really want to teach my students that you can go around the world in, I don't know, so many days. And I never really sort of believed in those, because I thought, I don't really know how that works, but it does really go around. So the more you share the videos, the more you share the post, then your friends see it, and you perhaps, if you got a friend in Spain, they're gonna see it, and if they share it, they got a friend in Canada who's gonna see it, and if they share it, they got a friend in Australia, they're gonna see it, and it really does go around the whole world. So I'm just gonna reinforce this line I added, because I added those 2 seed beads between those picots. I'm just going to go around a couple of times, because the more you fill up the whole of the bead with thread, the more solid your bead is going to become, and it's going to pull it in a nice little circle. Carol saying I am a new beaded too. So I think she's trying to say she's new to beading too. Do let me know where you are from, Carol. So just got a little knot on there, which I just pulled out. It's just amazing to see how we get this so many new people as well, and we can inspire them. Margaret is asking, do you use the same size and number of seed beads with a different size of crystals? Yes, I do. So for the 4mm, the 5mm and the 6mm are all 3 sizes are exactly the same pattern with exactly the same number of beads. And what you get, here is the finished sample. So you can see the 6mm is bulging out more than the 5mm, and the 4mm is pretty much flush to your beadwork. And if you look at it from this angle as well, you can see the ends are still there on the 4mm, but let me pick you up if you can see it better. And the 6mm is properly pulled in to the side. So exactly the same. If you go for the rainbow version, which is this one, again, you're going to be doing exactly the same pattern with exactly the same number of beads, but you're going to be working with 11s and 15s, because you're working with 3mm crystals here. And this one, I did all different colors of crystals in this kit, but the beads are the same. So overall, it's got a really nice and rich look to it. And with these ones, we have the same color of sort of matching your beads and seed beads, your crystal beads and seed beads. These are premium bicones, so they are really nice and even in size. Right, let's just finish. Margaret saying, thank you, I will definitely give these a try. They are really easy to do, and what I love about them, you can make a bead up. So if I wasn't chatting, you know, I was just sort of sitting there and concentrating on it, I guess I could make a bead up in about 15-20 minutes. And then once you got one bead, you can start varying it. Right, so I think I went around enough here to reinforcing this thread path. And I need to weave my thread all the way around to the other side. So I'm just going to follow any thread path I have created and weave my thread. And I'm just going to repeat what I did here to pull it together. I know we've been here for 40 minutes, but I really want to finish this and show it to you. So I think if you're okay with it, we're going to stay and finish it. So I'm just going to weave my thread to the other side. And I'm going to turn my beading around, so I'm beading away from myself. I'm going to go through until I come out of the next size 8 seed bead. And I'm going to repeat the same procedure. So I'm going to pick up 3 size 11s, go through this size 8, the bicone in front of it and the next size 8. Pull this up so it forms a little, like a little picot edge at the end there, and turn it and repeat it for the other 5 size 8 beads. And you can make them in all different colors, different sizes. Have a little collection of beads, I guess. I call these erudite beads. The collection, these ones erudite beads. So these are the crystal Bicone erudite beads, and we had the Czech crescent. Where did I put that necklace? The Czech crescent one, and Sarah was demoing these last week, which was made with the Czech crescent beads. But the beauty of have I got an aqua there? Let's just grab this sample. The beauty of all these beaded beads, that I'm just going to take this aqua and put it to the side, so you can mix and match your beads once you make them up. So you could take one from the last week's video and make a few of these, and then make a few of these, and you can put them on a necklace and they will look really nice together as well. And we also have some crystals on today's, which are, these are large hole crystals. So until you're making your beads up, you can just sort of put a few crystals in there to bulk your necklace or bracelet up. And then once you, oh, I got tangled with a thread here, and once you have enough bead made it up, then you can, I just love them because you can change them over, you can slightly change the color of a necklace, you can add or take away beads. They're just really a great concept to do it. And we got a few more different designs, so we're gonna be doing it over the next few weeks. One of them is with crystals and pearls, the other one was just pearls, and we got a few more 2-hole bead ones, so they're really nice to start the collection with it. And especially if you sell your jewelry, you know, bear in mind, like, sometimes the simplest things can make more money than something complicated. So if it takes you 20-30 minutes to make a bead, but you can charge £2-3 for each of one of the beads what you're making, or even more, I guess, depending on where you're selling your jewelry. And the great thing about it, that people won't even realize, and they're gonna pick up bead by bead and fill up a whole necklace or whole bracelet, and be, you know, before they know it, they spent a little fortune with you. But I love making them up. Right, so I added my little picots on every single one of these size 8s. So again, I'm going to go in one of the little picots. I'm going to be coming at right in the middle, and I'm going to add the 2 seed beads between these as well, every single one of them, to pull them in, to tighten them into a circle. So I'm just going to pick up 2 seed beads, locate the next picot, come through the middle of it, and keep on going all the way around. Susan is saying the large crystals are lovely. I have the blue and the nerve sets on the mesh chains and I wear them a lot. Oh yes, you can wear them in so many different things because they got a really nice and generous hole. I think they're about 5-6 mil hole they got. So they fit in a lot of different designs. And don't forget, they are half price today. So they're usually £10 for a set and they are £5. So it's worth to grab a couple because you will be using them in so many different designs. And they are gorgeous. The mixes are really gorgeous. And they go very well with these beads as well. Diana's asking, when do you add big beads? If you're referring for the bicones, we did a strip of bicones right at the beginning. So we constructed the middle of our bead and then we're doing one side and the other side. I like to flip-flop between sides. So I do a couple of rows or a row on one side and then go back into the other side and do one there, because that way you get a nice and even tension on both sides. Mina's saying I got 2 of these Bicone beads. And now I went all the way around. I'm just going to reinforce my thread path here by going around another time. Just following my thread path what I have created. Has anybody got any questions you would like to ask? If you just joined us, we are making these lovely crystal Bicone Erudite beads. They are really easy to make. That's it. I think we are around there, are we? Let's go to this one. So we went around one more time. As you can see, it pulled into nice. Pulled it in nicely. Lucy's saying, I don't think you put crystal in the middle. No, you don't, because they're completely hollow. They got nothing inside. As you're making the beaded beads, it holds itself up by the way how we stitched it together. So as you can see, my bead is still a little bit floppy because we didn't reinforce the middle, which we can go back and anytime we can do that. So I'm just going to take my thread back to these crystals and following any thread path I created, I'm just going to go through them one more time to reinforce it and have a really nice tight tension on it. Every single time I go through, I just pull it tighter a little bit more just to pull those beads together. How do you stop the thread from splitting? So depending on what thread you use, I like to use Supalon size D. I know there's Fireline, there's Wildfire, there's loads of different threads available out there. But like, you know, and everybody prefers a different medium for different reasons, I guess. I love the Supalon, which I showed you this before. Let's show you this one, because it comes in 36 different colors, so I can really match. If I'm working with a red bead or want to make something in red, I can choose the red. If I'm working something which is more like an amethysty color, I can choose an amethysty color to it. I'm just sort of grabbing stuff what's on my desk here. If I'm working something in turquoise, then I can use the turquoise thread with it. If I'm working something which is sort of monochrome, I can use the black or the grey with it. So there is a lot of different colors comes in this Supalon thread, and I love it because it really makes like your thread disappear in your weaving, whatever you do. So if like for example a color like red or orange, where you would use like a black thread or a white thread, it would really show up. So that's what is really lovely about this Supalon. It comes in 2 different sizes. So this one is size D, what we're working with. Double A is the other one, which is a little bit thinner, but obviously use it for different things. So D, I would use anything with size 8, size 11s or larger beads. double A I would use with size 15s when I have to. So this one, because you're going through the size 15s again and again, it's a more petite, smaller work, I would use double A thread with that one. But then for the chain, for going back to this necklace, this rainbow necklace, which we only got a limited amount available on the website, for the beads I would use double A, but for the chain I would use D. So it's just like, you know, like anything, even in cooking as well. You use certain stuff and certain brands for certain recipes, and then other ones you use different ones. But I love the Supalon. That what I love about it is that it comes in so many different colors, and you can really match and do more of a professional jewelry. So going back to the original question of the thread is splitting, I'm not sure which one you're using. If you this one is pre-waxed already, but you can use a little bit more beeswax on it. I don't personally like to use the beeswax because one, it fills up as you try and put it through your needle. It fills up the whole of the needle, and then the needle becomes sort of useless after a while. This thread is already, it's a synthetic material, it's already got some sort of wax on it, it's been treated, so you don't really need it. I used to use Nymo a long time ago, and I know with that one you did need to use beeswax because otherwise it would started fraying, and the beeswax just hold it together a little bit. So try perhaps not, I'm not sure what thread you're using, but try to just sort of get a little, they're not really expensive. I'm just gonna take my tail out of the way there. They're not really expensive, so try to get a little bit of beeswax. They comes in little blocks. Have I got one here? Yeah. They comes in little blocks like this, and they just pull your thread through the slot there. I try to keep in the packaging because I don't want it to dry out. You would just pull, I'm just going to show you on the tail end here. You're going to put your thread in there and just pull it along, and that just adds a little bit of coating on there, which then well, it will stay on your thread, sit there forever. So try to get a beeswax, and or thread heaven, that's another one as well you could use, and condition your thread. Diane is saying found. When I check out the beginning, it wasn't there. I'm sure you're answering somebody else's question as you're chatting amongst each other, because I'm not sure what's that referring. Or Jane's saying, I like KO, but don't sell it. No, KO is a bit more expensive as well. But again, it's another brand. But I love Supalon because it comes in so many different colors. And I think Toho does their own thread as well. And loads of different companies does their own thread. But it's exactly the same. You know, when you go into the supermarket, you got so many different brands of chocolate bars. It depends which one you like, or which one, you know, in the thread case, which one do you like working with. So that's really, try a few different ones and see which one sort of sits the best with you. I used to use Nymo all the time, and then probably about 10-15 years ago, a long time ago, I changed over to Supalon because the fact that it comes in so many different colors, and I never really left it behind. I've always been really happy with it. So that's it. I think I just woven my tail end and my working thread so they're right next to each other, and I'm just going to knot them together to give a nice finish for my bead. And I'm just going to pull this up, and before I cut this off, I'm just going to go through a couple of beads because I never want to cut my thread off right next to my knot, because otherwise it could be fraying. So I'm just going to pull it through a few beads and then just simply trim the end off. And on the other side, I'm going to have to add my tail end to my needle and just take that through a few beads. And then we are ready with our bead. And that's it, it went on there. That was quite easy, a few. Threading needle. Again, I'm just going to take it through a few beads so I don't cut it off right next to my knot. Just this one, and oops, and I'm going to cut it off. So that's it, really, how easy it is to make a beaded bead. Very easy, and you can use it in so many different designs. You can add other ones between. Let me just grab the other colors here. I love this dragonfly color. This is probably one of my favorite because it's got a bit of gray, pinky, greeny, tealy, purpley. I love this color. And actually we got quite a few here, so I'll show you with these crystals. So what you can do, I'm just gonna, have I got one chain here with that end? Yes, this one. I know I did. When I know I've removed the jump ring from one end of my chains. I've got a few here. Right, now just get these seed beads out of the day. Notice seed beads. So, because I got different sizes here, I'm just going to line them up. No, that's... There we go. So we got 2 of the 4mm, 2 of the 5mm, and 1 of the 6mm here. And I'm going to start with a crystal bead. So I'm just going to take that through my chain. I just want to show you how it really comes together with all the different sizes. And then I'm going to add the 4mm. So I'm letting the chain by gravity go sort of down and through my beads. Very easy and quickly you can fill it up. I love these large hole crystal beads because if you only made a few beads, you already, you know, you can fill your necklace up with it and you will have something to show off. And things like this is like, you know, it's really cheesy, but it really does happen that way, that you wear it and somebody will come along, oh, I really like your necklace, where did you get it? And then you do really say, oh, well, I made it myself. So look at that. How lovely is that? And how sparkly it is. It's just really, you know, and some of the elements you can make, but then equally I could, I've got a purpley colour from the other day. Would this one go with these? It's probably, that's the wrong shade of purple. How about a blue one? I think a blue one would go nice with this, yes. So let's take one of these off. And I'll show you that you can blend it with them as well if you like. So you can do a lot of things with your necklaces. Once you make all these different beaded beads up, and it will give you a different look. So I just take these beads off. Off you come from that chain. So I'm gonna take this back out, and now I'm gonna add one of those dark blue ones between what Sarah showed you last week how to make. And again, you're gonna get a very different look. Come on, in you go. So some of them's got slightly, the ones we made today with the Bicone beads got slightly larger holes than the one from last week, but these still will fit nicely through your beaded beads. But your chain will fit nicely through there. And these chains are on 3 for 2 as well. They're on the same page, so the link is above. And they stainless steel, which is a really, you know, it's a really great material, very hypoallergic, and they stay the same color, which is more importantly. Sometimes with silver plated chains, they can blacken after some time. Have I got all of them? What am I missing? 4mm, oh yes, I did the wrong one there. Sometimes the silver, it can change color. With the stainless steel, it's not going to change color, it's really going to stay nice. And stainless steel chains, if you look on any of the other websites, we got a really great factory we buy from. So we have got it on a really good price, but they can be quite expensive. And then just ready necklace. There's some of them, there's 3 different designs. So you got the lovely twisted design, you got this lovely mesh design, and then you have this lovely herringbone sort of style design, and they're all different lengths. So we got 40, 45 and 55, no 55. Let me just have a look actually for you, because they're different lengths and I don't want to tell you porcupines here. Just open my iPad. So 60 centimeters, 55 centimeters and 50 centimeters. That's it. I know there was difference between them. So now I've got a bead each. Oh, one of them is escaped, I think, on the other side. Will I be able to push this through? Never mind. I'll just take this off. And then be nice and even. So now I got a bead from this week video and another bead, the Czech Erudite ones from last week video as well. So you can really mix and match your beads. And when we're gonna do another one soon, I'm gonna show you again how you can mix them together. And you know, you can just go along and make the beads one by one up and include the crystals in there if you like. You can make really nice necklace. So do check out the website. On the website we got the Facebook tutorial page, that is today's one, and if I scroll down, this is here, Czech Crescent Erudite. It was on the 11th of June. So if you click on that, and then some of the Czech Crescents are in there. The PDF is gone up to $1.99 if you fancy that. But if you click right at the top, it will take you to the video to show you how to make. Very easy technique as well. Really great to, you know, you can mix and match your beads. Today's there's a crystal mixes on half price. You get 20 crystals for a £5 instead of £10. This really rainbow necklace is on offer as well. So it was $49.99 and it's down to $29.99. This is a bit more intricate. You're working with 11s and 15s here, but you got 13 different colors of crystals in the kit, which is really great. We also got another bundle which is 6 different colors of the Erudites, and that should be $59.94 and it's $39.99 today. So effectively get 3 sets for the price of 2, I guess, but there's 6 sets in here, so you get 6 sets for the price of 4. And then we got some of the colors individually there as well. So do have a look, and the chains are on 3 for 2 right at the bottom, 60 centimeter, 55 centimeters and 50 centimeter. But let me turn the camera around so I can see you. There we are. Hello. Good morning. I see you because you started straight on the mat. I haven't seen you. Oh, Lotus is saying, feel an order coming. Very nice kitty. Made well. Love the gold one. You can do in any color what you like to be doing it. Let me just take a sip of my coffee, because I do talk for a long time. My voice will start to go, but you can make them in any color you like to make them. You can, you know, mix and match your colors, and we will be doing other designs as well, but it's just really great to, you know, one bead should take you anything between, I guess, 20 to 30 minutes. And you can start. I'm just going to put this necklace on, pull through the little toggle clasp, and then, oh, this is the right length for me actually. And then you really nice and easily, you can display your necklaces and wear a lot of different. Oh, Dorothy's saying, love your coffee mug. Yes, it's a shape of a flower. We got this, we went back to Budapest in December and we went to the Christmas fairs. It's I think it's the 4th biggest Christmas fair in the whole of Europe. We went back with my husband, and there's one of the stores where they're selling this really lovely mugs, and we only really had hand luggage, but I couldn't say no to it, so I bought one. And I said to the lady, if we go back to Hungary this summer, I'm going to come and buy another 5, so I have a whole set of them. But I don't think that's going to be happening this year, so we will see. So that's it. Do let me know if you got any questions. I will go back in the video and answer it later. Please share the video so we can share the love of crafting. Do pop into our groups and put pictures in if you make anything, because I always really love to see it. There's a lot of you made the bracelets from the other day, so that was up on there, and I really love to see it, that we can inspire. Oh, Doris is saying, Kitty, you would like to know that hairdressers will open again on the 5th of July. Thanks God, because I'm like a little Rapunzel here now. And actually, I used to have long hair, sort of down to the middle of my back. But what happened is that I always just used to have it tied at the back, and never really did anything with it. And 3 years ago now in the summer, I went to the hairdresser in Hungary, and I said, well, I don't really know what to do with my hair, because I always just tie in a ponytail and I don't know, what to do with it. And this is the hairdresser I've been going since I was a child, I guess. And she asked me, do you trust me? And I said, yeah. Like, she's sort of my mum's age. And I said, yeah, why not? And as my hair was in a ponytail, she pulled the little band back and just cut the whole thing off, and I had a really nice bob. And first I was like, oh my word, I was like really shocked, but it looked really good and I really, really enjoyed it. So I'll I don't know, but now I sort of enjoy it longer as well, so we'll see what happens. I might get it a bit shortened or a lot shortened. We will see. So that's it for me today. Do check out the website and do have a look at all the different kits. Share the video, post in the groups, because I really love to see what you're making. If you've got any questions, you can either private message us on Facebook and we'll get back to you. Everybody have a lovely day. It looks like the sun is coming out here, and we might have a nice afternoon. Yesterday it was raining, but the evening was really nice and sunny here. So we see. I would like to go down and have a nice long walk on the beach, because I haven't been down there actually for a couple of weeks now. So I just want to get the kids out this afternoon and go for a nice long walk. So have a lovely day, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. Oh, I need to show you what we're doing tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to be making a little galaxy bracelet. Now, I have to say, this design is Christopher come up with it, because when he did the button man, let me just put it on so you can see it a bit better. When he did the button man, he was really chuffed with himself that everybody really, really loved it. So he's been racking his lovely little brain for the last, I guess, 2 weeks to what, if he can, or 3 weeks, maybe longer, what he can come up with. And one day they were learning about planets in school, or one of the things what they were looking at, it was about planets. And he said to me, Mommy, planets a bit look like, they are a bit look like beads, aren't they? And I was like, yeah, like, yeah, I suppose they're round, and beads can be round as well. And then he said that he even looked into it and looked up some pictures and bits of pieces, and he's seen, he come up with a little galaxy bracelet. So that's Saturn, there is Earth is a little bit smaller, you got Pluto right at the end, because we weren't sure if you need to include Pluto, or there is Mars is a little bit red. So we came up with a little galaxy set, and we even added a little crystal, little hematite stars on there. So it's really, really cute. So he's gonna be back tomorrow and showing you how to make the bracelet. I think he's really looking forward to it, because he used to do Saturdays with me, but a couple of weeks ago he said that there is various things happening on one of his games he plays online with his friends, and then he could not possibly have the time. But then I think he felt sorry for himself, because he really enjoys doing them as well. So tomorrow, drum roll, he will be back and showing you how to make this lovely little bracelet. Bless him. I'm really looking forward to it. I love doing it with him. I don't make him do it. It's really coming from him that he wants to do it. But it's so strange, because at the same time, he's such a shy boy. So if you go anywhere new, he's like always sort of stands back, and my Lucy, I guess, has got more confident. But then Christopher is a bit more shy, but he loves doing this. And I think it's because he can't see the people watching him. Bless him. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with Christopher, and I really can't wait for that. I really enjoyed playing around with the beads with him and doing this. And he even looked up all the planets and written out little stickers and organised himself in a tray. But we'll show you all that tomorrow. So have a lovely day. Keep on crafting. Stay safe, everybody. And check out the website. We got amazing deals on today. And I will see you tomorrow with my lovely little Christopher. And Sarah's going to be with you on Sunday. Have a lovely time, everybody. Bye.